Hey everyone, it is Havohai here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We are on Global, and it is the December 2018 edition of Best Teams. You might have seen this one earlier in December, but I did have to take it down due to crediting and some referencing issues that have been resolved, and I will be doing a much better job at that from here on out. So if you are new to my channel, of course, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. We have a lot to cover, so let's kind of get right into it. And I do want to just put this disclaimer out, is what I consider best teams is really based on my opinions after some in-game play. I have virtually all these teams. Really, I'm missing one unit from all these different teams that I'm running and I'm playing and I'm judging on, and that's just LR Cell on the Android category. But I do a lot of in-game play and testing, and then anything outside of that, I also look at some references and research from other sources, which I do want to shout out right now, and that's shouting out to the Dokkan Wiki and their tier list there. I love looking at their examinations there. Also want to shout out to Renzi over at DBZ Space for all the assets and all the images that you kind of see here, and also the Dokkan subreddit, primarily two individuals, and that is Loligami's top hardest hitting teams. That will be a link in the description below, along with Mobile Man's defensive units. That was something I was looking at as well, to kind of judge and kind of figure out what I consider the best teams on Global. So I look at and examine a lot of different things, and I've done this for about a year now, this series. And I look at leader skill. You guys know that attack is something that's a little bit more important to me than some of the other stats like defense and HP. Key is very important. I do consider a lot of different passives very important on a team. Passes, when I mean, and essays, meaning essays, do they buff, do they debuff, do they provide on the passives, transformation, healing, counters, all those good stuff. Links are very important. Flexibility and strength kind of goes hand in hand. This best team that you have on this category, or this team here, can it be substituted, can it be moved around? So the better flexibility, I think, the better the team, and then just overall viability. So like I mentioned before, any research and reference sources will be linked in the description below. Let's get right into it. So last month's best team was this list here. So a couple major changes is the Transformation Goku and the Transformation Frieza. I just combined those teams together with the Vegeto Blue and the Strength Rose. The reason why is just to open up 2 extra slots, but in a sense I'm just going to combine Super Team and Extreme Team, and you can use 2 different leaders for that. So it does provide a little bit of flexibility. So I will combine there. There's 2 new categories that are introduced at this point in time, so we'll talk about those 2, and that does change the top 5 and the top 10 on this list. I do want to make a quick reference for when I started actually doing this series back in December 2017 on Global. These were the top, in my opinion, the top 7 teams that were available, and boy have we changed. So you had Gogeta Fusions as number 1, and then you had the brand new dropping SSR UI Goku and Realm of Gods, even though that was at 120 in this current meta. It was very solid. We didn't get the Dokkan Awaken them right away. So look at it. Previous month, this was November, and now look at December. That's the bottom 5. I'm going to be really focusing and covering the top 10. But yeah, the bottom 5 actually has 2 170% leaders, attack leaders, not making the top 10. Now, I already talked about the Android category last month being more defensive oriented, not having enough attack and damage output to get them to the top 10 there. But Future Gohan, I recently got that team. It's just not quite doing it for me, so I had to put him at 11. I might change my mind later on, but as of right now, it does fall in the top 11. So let's talk about that really quick. And the Future Saga category with the Future Gohan here, it does run 3 LRs, which is great. However, you do have to run 2 Gohans, and Gohan in and of itself isn't that great. Except for that defensive side of things. So he does mitigate damage. He has a nice defensive stat boost and percentage boost, but besides that, nothing too fancy. Now this team does tug at my heart a little bit because it has still one of the best 1-2 punches in the game in LR Rosemasu and Strength Rose. But there's a couple of things that bother me the most. One is you really can't use Tech Vegeta Blue, one of the best TURs in the game, on this team. You really have to use LR Vegeta Blue, which in and itself is a fantastic unit, but just doesn't hit harder than, you know, if you're comparing Rainbow to Rainbow. A Rainbow Tech Vegeta Blue does more damage than a Rainbow LR Vegeta Blue, and due to the fact you can't use it, but it's gonna be hard because you're having some link issues and key issues, because Tech Vegeta Blue does run over the Flash, whereas sorry about that, whereas LR Vegeta Blue runs Prepare for Battle, and most of these units run Prepare for Battle. Another problem is you don't have any support, except for this one unit here, but not some flexibility when it comes to support, because for some odd reason, I don't know why Bandai ended up doing this, is Future Gohan, the category leader here, only has the category Key +3 HP, 130% attack and defense of 170%, no secondary leader skill, and that is the only 170% lead that doesn't have a secondary leader skill. So it's very, very strange that they did that. So with that, that's why it just did not crack the top 10 for me, even though, you know, when you look at it here, it looks great, but the bench strength really isn't that fantastic. Yeah, so with that, he just gets an honorable mention. It is number 11 in the top 15, but let's look at the top 10 here. So coming in top 10, coming in number 10 here is AGL Turles, movie boss category. Fantastic team. This team in and itself, you're running the LRs and the TURs on here, but you can run 3 LRs on this. You can run Strength Beerus. He's not on the alts there because I'm just focusing more on the extreme units that's available here, but you can run that, and he will be viable when EZA Tech Beerus gets his increases there, so you're gonna be able to run those 2 units, and those 2 units are going to be amazing with the EZA Beerus and the LR Beerus. But as of right now, this team is fantastic. You're running the TUR and LR, getting those 6 links linked up together, along with Turles buffing and all that good stuff, and a fantastic bench strength. So coming in at number 10, movie boss category, with AGL Turles, Key +3 HP and attack defense 150%, and secondary leader of extreme class, Key +3 HP and attack defense 50%. Coming in number 9, so here is actually where Loligami's top 10 hardest hitting teams help me decipher and figure out, okay, I need to take a closer look at Pure Saiyans and the damage output, because it was showing me in his hardest hitting teams list that he was calculating that Pure Saiyans was doing more output and more damage than a lot of different teams, primarily with Resurrected Warriors, which we'll talk about that in a second. So I had to take a closer look, and that's why we put him at number 9, even though he is a 130% attack leader. But look at the units that you can use. You're running 3 LRs. Once again, that's fantastic in itself. You're having AGL Turles buffing everything, so that helps out the difference in leader skill. But you also have the best bench of pretty much any category in Pure Saiyans. There's so many different units you can run and so many interchangeable parts that this team deserves to be in the top 10, and I slot them in the number 9 slot. So, and think about that. You have UI Goku, you have a full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the bench there. That's pretty amazing. So coming in at number 9, Evolution Vegeta, Pure Saiyans category, Key +3, HP defense 170%, and then attack 130%. So coming in at number 8 is the Realm of Gods category, and I showed you before, hey, Global got UI Goku a lot earlier than JP did in terms of timeline. We didn't Dokkan Awaken him yet, but he is Dokkan Awakened now. This team just overall, fantastic. Yes, you're only running one LR, but you're having one of the best TURs in the game, in Tech VB, in Transformation Evolution Vegeta, UI Goku in itself. You get to run 2 of those. You have Strength Topo as the leader. You have one of the best 1-2 punches in the game, Rosmasu and Rose, and you have an incredible bench. So easy slot here. Damage output is fantastic. Everything here easy to slot them at number 8. Realm of Gods, UI Goku, category Key +3, HP and attack defense 150%, with a secondary leader skill, Int Key +3, HP and attack defense 50%. Going in at number 7. So this is a surprise. This team here was in the top 5 for a very long time, and it was dropped from 4 to 7, and actually, let me take that back, from 5 to 7. So dropped 2 spots and out of the top 5, and this team has been in the top 5 for a very, very long time. Resurrected Warriors, just in my mind, and even just playing, the problem is just playing Dokkan events isn't enough. You have to do more testing in game. It was doing some boss rushes, things of that nature, and I was like, you know, Resurrected Warriors hits extremely hard, does a lot of damage, but it's not overwhelmingly more than what I showed you in these other 3, in Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, and movie bosses. It does amazing damage, but just not overwhelmingly more. So this team here also has a lot of good defense with AGL Frieza. Has a little bit of key issues here and there, but all in all, still a fantastic team. It just dropped 2 spots for me. And yeah, unfortunately, no more in the top 5 is Angel Golden Frieza, Resurrected Warriors, Key +3, HP 130%, attack and defensive 170%, secondary leader skill, Int Key +3, HP attack and defensive 50%. So coming in at number 6. Now this was tough for me. I actually wanted this team to be in the top 5 because this team is fantastic. Universal Saga with Jiren. I love Jiren's passive. Now, it doesn't work a lot on certain Dokkan events, but if you're playing like Super Battle Road, things of that nature, he works really well with that stun. Along with that, he has one of the hardest hitting duos and probably the best 1-2 punch in the game when it comes to defense and also offense, and that's MVP 17 and LR Friku. This team, only, even though it's running 1 LR, does amazing amount of damage. And just look at this team: UI Goku, transformation, stunning, defensive buff, crazy damage output. The only problem, that the reason why I didn't put him in the top 5, is its bench. If you don't have these units, the substitutes on there provides a steep drop off. So I was like, the flexibility for this isn't really as good, and but definitely deserves top 6 and could definitely squeak into the top 5. And really 4, 5, and 6 are very, very close. Really, it could be interchangeable. So coming in at number 6, Universal Survival Saga, Strength Jiren, category Key +3, HP and attack defense 150%, and secondary leader skill, Strength Key +3, HP and attack defense 50%. Coming in at number 5, I could not drop Super Saiyan 3 category Bardock out of the top 5. It just does an enormous amount of damage because you have LR Friku, and you're just running over in a flash. You have 0 key issues. You're doing incredible damage here. You can actually, if your HP is below 70%, Int Super Saiyan 3 Bardock buffs all the other units as well with a 40% increase in damage. So man, if you have your HP correct, this just continues to surprise and damage output. Unfortunately, not too many people run this team, because I guess not too many people have in Bardock, but it is on the current banner right now. Hopefully you guys do pull him and understand the Super Saiyan 3 category is fantastic and definitely deserves this spot in the top 5. And even it's really also interchangeable. It has a decent bench strength on here, and even additional support units to go along with it. So, and anytime you can have a sub in Int Gogeta, it's a good thing. So coming in number 5, Super Saiyan 3 Int Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, Ki plus 3, HP 130%, attack and defensive 170%, and Super Int Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%. One of the better secondary leader skills out there. So coming in at top 4, this, even though it's a new kid on the block, full power category with full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That's right, a 3LR 150% category leader. But look at the 3 LRs that are on this team: LR Frieza, Int Gohan, Strength Broly. You have AoE. You have no key problems with Gohan because he provides that extra 1 key to himself. One of the hardest hitting units in the game, if not the hardest hitting LR in the game, in LR Frieza. Then you have Goku, Evolution Vegeta. You are using that tech support in Tech Tien just to buff LR Frieza, but he can buff Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well. So if you're off rotation, things of that nature. So this team in and of itself hits extremely hard. The damage output is there, and it is the hardest hitting 150% team in the game, and or on global, that is. So as for 150%, it is tops on the list and has a decent bench strength as of right now. It will grow in the future, but as of right now, still has some solid changes on it. If you don't have a certain LR, you can slot like Kefla on there, or even Omega Shenron or something like that nature. And if you don't have that Tech Tien, you can slot in good old Tech base form Vegito that can be slide in on a lot of different teams on there. So coming in at number 4, full power category, Super Saiyan 4 full power Goku, Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 150%, Super Tech type Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%. There you go. So now let's go into the top 3. No changes from last month, so I'll quickly go through it. Number 3, fusion category. Amazing, fantastic. LR Gogeta. You're running 3 Gogetas on one team. Now, we know that this team can ultimately change when that mystery crazy movie banner ever is going to come out. And Global seems like it's going to be delayed on here. So this team right now is slotted at 3rd. I've talked about the defensive issues comparable to the other 2. I've talked about even the bench strength on this. It's not as good. But coming in number 3, fusion category, LR Gogeta, HP and attack 170%, defensive 130%, physical Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%. There are where they are now. It definitely can change when that movie banner comes out, whenever it comes out. So coming in number 2, the 2-in-1 controversy here. Hey, I still think Universal U7 here, Representative Universe 7, it is the hardest hitting team in the game, in global right now. However, bench strength, not that great. Options aren't really that great there, but the flexibility in it itself has created me to put him in the 2nd slot. It's just a steamroller. That's really this team is all about. And if you like damage output, then you'll probably put this team at number 1. I just think the next team, the number 1, you guys already know what it is, just has an overall better team. But coming in at number 2, still at number 2, I know you guys are thinking about me moving him to number 1, but still at number 2 is Representatives of Universe 7 category, Ki plus 3, HP and attack defense 170%, LR Frieza is the leader, and then Tech Ki plus 3, HP and attack defense 90%. Coming in at number 1, still the king, and has stayed the king, has not lost the number 1 spot since he came out in the 3-year anniversary. LR Super Vegeto. Once again, the reason why I think this team is the best team said it many a times, there's no 170% attack leader that has transformations, that has healing, that has super attack buffs, that has counters, that has additional attacks, that has multiple different support units you can run. You can run 2, you can run 3 support units. You can actually completely change this team and run a different team. The bench strength is really strong. There is no other category and team that is running 170% attack that has all these different things. That's why still to this day, actually didn't change this format this correctly. Here we go. Leader right here, coming in at number 1, LR Super Vegeto, Patara, category key +3, HP and attack 170%, defensive 130%, int key +3, HP and attack defense 90%, still number 1. So in summary, top 15 teams right here. Now you might think, you're going, wait a minute, there's a couple categories that's missing. You might be right, but those categories, I still think Super Vegeto, Vegeto Blue and Rose, these super and extreme types, are better than those two. And that's Shadow Dragon and Hybrid Saiyans. Now, of course, if I just took the 120% leads out, then I'll just add those two in, right? But I still think these are the top 15 teams in global right now. Once again, compared to 2017, yeah, a lot different. So interestingly enough, that's the end of 2018. This is where we stand now. We'll see what the meta changes in 2019. It's gonna be fun watching it. This video is long enough, it's already over 22 minutes. But with that, thank you guys for watching. And if you are new to my channel, of course, like, subscribe, comment below, and keep on Dokkaning. We will catch you next time.